Hey guys, it's Dr. Roberts here from Nashville Neck and Back. We've got a very different reaction video for you today. I saw this pop up on my feed today and I figured, hey, if this doesn't deserve its own reaction video, then nothing else does. So here we go. Let's just dive right into it. I've got an article that I want to look at first, and then I did a few searches on YouTube and found some videos, so we'll look at that here in just a second. But this is insane. So alternative healer gets 10 years in prison related to death of patient who participated in slap therapy. What in the world is slap therapy? Well, it's what you would probably expect. So if we scroll down here and let's see, maybe I trust the science just a little bit too much. Nothing of this sounds like a good idea. A 71-year-old diabetic woman, Danielle Carr-Gom, in Britain died after she forsook taking insulin to instead participate in slapping therapy, which, yes, is exactly what it sounds like. A lady decided to go to a slap yourself. Why? Slap yourself workshop to cure her diabetes. Let's just say that out loud, how ridiculous that sounds. A lady decided to go to a slap yourself workshop to cure her diabetes and went 4 days without taking her insulin, ending with writhing pain, screaming, and dying, while the leader of the workshop, which is this guy right here, didn't provide any real medical help. This guy's name, sorry if I butcher this name, Hongqi Zhao of Cloudbreak, California, promoted Pi-Dye Langen therapy, getting patients to slap themselves repeatedly to release poisonous waste, aka toxins, from the body. The technique has its roots in Chinese medicine, but critics say it has no scientific basis, and patients often end up with bruises, bleeding, or worse. Now, why did I feel like this was relevant to put on my channel? Because we see a lot of stuff similar to this. I'm not saying it's as bad as this, and I'm going to show you examples of this here in a second. But what do we see? We see some of these chiropractors practicing Eastern medicine, doing some weird stuff. Some of it could be legit. Some of it just looks ridiculous. You guys that have followed the channel have seen some of my critiques of some of this stuff. And I'm not saying all Eastern medicine doesn't have its place. Look, just because something isn't accepted on all parts of the world, it's just not accepted in the States, doesn't mean it doesn't have a legitimacy. But sometimes you just got to take a step back and just look at something for what it is. And if it looks as ridiculous as this looks, and if it sounds as ridiculous as this sounds, maybe you should use your common sense. But the sad thing is, you get people like this lady who's a little bit older. She's probably been really sick and probably really sick for a long time. Was probably tired of her typical regimen of medications and was looking for something different, probably looking for something different for quite some time. I'm assuming had exhausted all other options, stumbled upon this and said, hey, let's give it a try. I'm guessing this guy is probably well-spoken, probably is able to persuade people to agree with him, kind of cultish, as we see some of these other providers seem to be, and convince this lady to do this. Stop taking your insulin, slap yourself, and you're going to get better. And not taking the proper precautions when seeing this he's not a provider, seeing this woman whose health declined significantly, drastically, and very quickly, didn't do anything about it. So let's take a look here. Zhao lives in California, but this workshop was in London, and he actually had to be extradited out of Australia to bring the case. Zhao's slapping therapy also resulted in no. Are you kidding me? His slapping therapy also resulted in the death of a 6-year-old boy in Australia who was not given insulin during one of the workshops. Zhao was serving a sentence for manslaughter in Australia when the British case came to court. He's like a traveling witch doctor that leaves a trail of bodies in his wake. What in the world? How are these people able to get away with this? Tragically, Cara Grant, the lady, died believing that the therapy was working. She even recorded a positive video review for Zhao, which he probably made her do. When she started showing symptoms of the sickness, the other participants in the workshop were told and believed that she was a healing crisis. Zhao has been sentenced to 10 years in prison. Good, should be longer, after being convicted of manslaughter. All right, so let's go over here. Here is one thing that we're going to look at real quick. I may have to edit some of this out. I don't want to get any issues here. But let's take a look here, and then we'll, I think there's a couple other videos that I want to show you that kind of demonstrate what insanity this is.
Please stand up. The result is that the total sentence is 15 years. This comprises a determinate sentence of 10 years and an extended license period of 5 years. You will be released from custody no later than 2/3 of the way through the determinate sentence, namely 6 years and 8 months. The remainder of the sentence will be served on license in the community. I therefore sentence you on the basis that you knew from late in the afternoon of day 1 of the fast that Danielle Cargom had stopped taking her insulin. Furthermore, you made it clear to her that you supported this.
Okay, just 1 minute. You count. Okay.
Here's an example.
Okay. For 1 minute, ask me to stop. Okay. You can focus on one side first. Yeah. Oh, I see some gentlemen really do very hard. So normally in this world, it's very strange. Wherever I go.
She was obviously unwell.
So sad.
She was vomiting, agitated, and in discomfort to the extent that others were concerned. Eventually, she became quiet and stopped moving. This was not because she had been soothed by you or because toxins had left her body. It was because she was in a diabetic coma caused by ketoacidosis. Eventually, during the early hours of...
And all I did was in YouTube search slap therapy. So several channels have covered this. Some of them, though, this is 4 months ago. So, again, I don't know if this is just coming to light. Hold on. So here we're going to watch Slap Happy. One physical therapist wants to smack your chronic pain. Now, I don't know if this is exactly the same type of therapy. I'm watching this for the first time. So let's take a look and see how ridiculous this is.
There's lots of prodding, there's shaking, there's, and it's something that I haven't ever experienced before, even with chiropractors. At the end of the day, you realize that he's kind of asymmetrically applying all these different pressure points and different movements, and as counterintuitive as it seems, he's applying it very intuitively. And so it's really just a tremendous, very innovative technique that I haven't ever encountered before.
My technique is called reflexive pattern therapy, and my goal is to work mostly on chronic pain. What I'm doing is through patterns of understanding and through years of trial and error, I figured out what needs to be stimulated utilizing reflexes. And the really cool part about it is when people come in and they have pain, literally within a couple minutes, their pain is gone. Now, that doesn't mean it's a cure. No. It's more curative. It means they can feel better. And then we can start to work on what we like their strength, their posture, their flexibility.
Oh, so he developed it. He made it up. Okay.
We at Adventist Healthcare Rehabilitation really treat the whole person. And when we get into...
For me was...
All right, so that's may not be the same, but pretty similar. Women get face slapped to remove wrinkles at salon. Guys, come on. Please don't fall for this type of stuff. So here's somebody else did a reaction to this. This is ridiculous. So it's really sad because you think that, I would never be dumb enough to fall for this. And you may not be. But you know who is? maybe your parent as they get older. Because I have had patients here come to me and try to seek advice, specifically not this, but something. All right, I'll just say it. Their parent, and they didn't know how to get them away from this, had been duped, similar to this, to a provider who was healing them with like the crystal therapy and the aromatherapy and the energy healing. Have you guys seen that? Where they're not doctors, I don't even know what they are, where they don't even touch the patient. They just wave their hands over the patient and they transfer the energy. Guys, come on. Talk to your parents, grandparents. Make sure that they're not falling for stuff like this. If they are, man, I don't even know. Obviously try to talk them out of it. Try to talk some sense into them. But if they are convinced on that this is the best path for them, I don't know. Maybe file a report, speak with a medical board, local authorities, something. This is insanity. People are dying. I mean, it's not just, somebody unfortunately has to deal with chronic back pain because, this guy doesn't know what he was doing and, this patient just didn't get any better. No, people are dying. Because you got idiots like this who are just brainwashing these unsuspecting patients, these gullible people, into this nonsense of treatment. And people are dying. So anyway, guys, I wanted to bring this to your attention. Keep an eye open, keep an ear open, check in on your loved ones. Make sure they're not getting duped. Anyway, guys, special reaction video on this Monday. We will have our regularly scheduled video posting tomorrow at around 3:15. So make sure you stay tuned for that one. But have a good rest of your day. We'll see you tomorrow.